Our top story tonight, the Savannah-Chatham County School Board has approved its fiscal year 2027 budget after a weeks-long delay, while district leaders waited for updated revenue numbers. Now, district officials say they're now facing a $28 million gap between expected revenue and planned spending. WSAV's Isabella Baez breaks down what was approved and what comes next.
Cannot continue to do business as usual.
On Wednesday night, during a special called meeting, Savannah-Chatham County School Board members discussed and approved the 2027 fiscal year budget, a $704.7 million proposed budget.
An increase of $23 million from the prior year's revised budget. And if approved, this will be the smallest growth from a revised budget within the past 4 years.
This vote was supposed to come earlier this month. However, due to a delay of a tax digest, which helps determine how much revenue is expected from local property tax. Prior to the meeting, Superintendent Dr. Denise Watts held a briefing to discuss their current financial reality.
We anticipated and projected that we would receive about 5% growth. That number comes in at more like 3%. And so the gap or the revenue shortfall that we are experiencing right now is about $28 million.
Watts saying the shortfall is due to the home exemption, the local growth tax digest, a declining QBE, and grants that have now expired. Most of the cost drivers in the budget is the competitive pay they offer their employees. Board members given the suggestion that they will have to start looking at staffing models and closing vacant spots to help cut some costs.
We're going to have to right-size the district based on reduction in enrollment, based on reduction in revenue growth, based on efficiencies. We've adopted software that doesn't require as many positions. We can consolidate positions, we can change positions, but that's not unique to this year.
Some new developments now. We are learning more about the man who died in an officer-involved shooting in Savannah yesterday. Court and jail records show 35-year-old Nicholas Oxendine had a criminal history spanning more than a decade in the Chatham County area. Those records include prior arrests and convictions dating back to 2008, including burglary, theft, criminal trespass, drug-related charges, and multiple probation violations. Documents are also showing multiple periods of incarceration over the years, as well as a recent warrant related to probation violations prior to yesterday's shooting. Now, that shooting happened yesterday morning in Savannah's Starland district. Investigators say Savannah police officers stopped to question Oxendine near East Victory Drive and Bull Street after he was reportedly loitering near a closed business. The GBI says Oxendine then attacked one officer during the encounter and tried to attack a second officer before he was shot. Both officers were hospitalized with minor injuries and have since been released. New information out of Effingham County. Officials confirming an inmate has died after being found unresponsive inside the county jail. The Effingham County Sheriff's Office says 44-year-old Jason McLean of Guyton was found unresponsive in his cell yesterday afternoon. McLean was transported to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead. Court records show McLean had been in custody following a conviction for aggravated assault, aggravated battery, and possession of a knife during the commission of a felony. Officials say the case is now under investigation by the Region 6 Use of Force Task Force. Now to a developing story. Off Tybee Island, a swimmer recovering after being pulled from the water in medical distress. Tybee Island Fire Rescue and Ocean Rescue responded Sunday afternoon to the 15th Street Beach crossover for a report of a woman in distress in the water. Crews say that the woman had already been pulled from the ocean by bystanders, including her daughter, before first responders arrived. And witnesses told crews the woman had reported feeling dizzy before entering the water and was later found face down in shallow water. The woman was transported to a hospital for further treatment, where her condition remains unknown tonight. New tonight, during a recent Hampton County Council meeting, the SLED investigation into county finances became a point of public comment and included a tense exchange involving a council member who is already under scrutiny.
Quiet.
Hold up. Too many people are talking.
Letting you have your way. I'm done.
Okay. Okay.
So you can sit yourself down.
Okay.
Out of
Okay.
my face.
Okay. Come on.
I'm done.
This comes after the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division opened an investigation earlier this year into Hampton County finances, looking into vehicle sales and transfers, county gas card usage, and other financial records dating back to January 2023. During a recent council meeting, a woman spoke directly about the ongoing SLED investigation, while Councilman Jordan Jinks, who is himself under a separate open SLED investigation, was there.
We're in a unique situation. We have a councilman who has been investigated by SLED. All I'm saying is that there's, you just want to remove the probability of any kind of vendetta or any effort to approach or to.
Don't even look at me like that.
Councilman Jinks.
You look like the hag you are.
Councilman Jinks, refrain yourself.
There is no indication at this time that the two SLED investigations are related. The investigations into both Hampton County finances and Councilman Jinks remains ongoing. Earlier this evening, residents in Savannah got a chance to sit down face-to-face with city leadership during a community engagement event called Savannah at Night. City officials say the goal was to bring Team Savannah directly to neighborhoods with representatives from Savannah Police, Savannah Fire, Capital Projects, and neighborhood engagement all on hand. Leaders also discussed ongoing infrastructure work and progress tied to the city's 5-year homelessness report. Well, residents were able to ask questions directly and speak with staff about concerns in their communities.
Is people and the trust that people have in us. And so we want people to have their questions answered directly from the individuals who can answer them. And so here it is. If you look, all of our departments here are represented. Our subject matter experts are here. If you have a problem or issue regarding the city of Savannah, it can be addressed by the folks right here in this room.
City leaders say they plan to hold similar events several times a year as part of ongoing efforts to bring government services directly into neighborhoods. As the school year approaches across the Coastal Empire, students will be heading back to class soon. And in Savannah, a new charter school is preparing to open its doors for the very first time, with a focus on supporting students who may need a different kind of learning environment. WSAV's Isley Herschel explains.
Reach Charter School is offering a different approach to learning, and this room that I'm in right now is a prime example of that. This is what they're calling the bullpen, and it allows teachers and students to meet during the day to make sure students are getting the support that they need. Reach is intended for high school students who require something different than traditional school. For example, kids who have had educational challenges in the past, those with mental health needs, or even those who may be the breadwinners of their families. Dr. Richard Reynolds is the executive director at Reach, and says this can be a fresh start for students who may need one. He emphasized that this is not just high school prep classes.
Graduation is not enough for us. We want to ensure that our kids are prepared for their next step. So these are opportunities for kids who are going to come in the door and say, here are the things that I need. And we're going to build around what they need. Instead of saying, here's what we got, here's what you're going to be able to fit into. No, we're going to make the adjustments around their current needs.
Teachers are going to be meeting here in a few weeks to begin preparations for the upcoming school year, which starts August 3rd. We have information on how to register on our website, WSAV.com. In Savannah, Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3, on your side.